we've been in this chop on the daily for a while. You know, we came back and swiped the lows here, but are we still in that chop? Yeah, I believe so, wholeheartedly. And we'll be at the view app again in no time. Or sorry, the POC again. That's 750 points up. And when we get there, we won't even be in the middle yet. But every single day that we've had towards these lows has been making it very difficult for people to be exposed to that unless they're holding. We also have a red-yellow line here and a blue line inside of the green zone. It would seem like that would get some buoyancy to it. And just for some perspective, to go from 261 to 188, how many points would that be? You know, roughly 80 to 90 points. We're about to make that connection there now. Oh, this is also going to be a 127 area. Interesting, the bottom of the green zone. Yeah, looking for it should be an A point to a harmonic pattern. X, A, B, C, D. This, I believe, is going to be A. So we can see the entirety of the green zone being used. Reminds me of a spike in spring. Reminds me of, you know, sort of like a phase A, but looks like we're trying to do more than phase A. So there's that more than the phase A that I was mentioning. Let's see that red zone. Ideally, we might be able to make a retracement and then get there. Another test of the green zone, almost the red-yellow line. Starting to look more like that W, isn't it? So this is the 141, basically. This fib set's not in play anymore. It's all about this one. Because we've never managed to get back to that 61. It'll be a dilapidated W in the event that we break the trend from uneven lows. But that's okay. We'll bounce on the red zone there, the 141 area. So far, anybody that took anything to do with the 141 or red zone is now able to take off enough to be able to ensure that no losses can become of it. The name of the game is to get through the trends above and to get to the targets above those trends. So it's funny to me that everything that we've done a moment ago off of that original green zone was scooped up, and here we are right back at where we were a moment ago, almost like we've got an M into what could be a W, but we have to watch out for it to be a third drive and then come up. That's also acceptable. That's why protection is key in environments like this. They're not trying to make it easier. Is it starting to look like a W? This is like 5 movements calculated in advance, with XA being the only movement that we had on the chart. This movement can be the making of an A point to a harmonic W. It was all in there, ready to rock. Just needed to be utilized and understood. Because the more that you understand it, the more inclined that you will be to use it. Does it not all come down to understanding? And just remember, despite the difficulty, it's, in my opinion, destined to get to the view app, which is a nice, beautiful move to the upside. Destined to get there. It's been days and days and days of almost, and it's like it's going to get there, from what I can see. It's not from a random place. From a place that makes sense to make a small move. Because why? Because you can protect that small move. When you've done so, then you've got exposure to the longer term move. That may have to be done multiple times. Expect it to be done 20 times. When it's only 8, not going to be a problem, because that's the way I operate. You know it's going to have to happen. The only way is to persist with it. W, we have to watch out for it to be a third drive. I find it interesting. That's also acceptable. That the 61 that I believe it will go to is going to be around the 188 for the B point here, it looks like. So we're going to have a 188, 200, and a 261. Well, it's interesting to see that the same amount of time was placed on the other side, making it a perfect equilibrium to the S wave that we just completed. They're itching to get to that red zone again, it would seem. Now, when I see two movements that are so close together like this, what I suspect is that we'll actually be making this movement in the future a little bit higher from where we are. We're actually going to make this movement and have a downwards move that's exactly the same size as one of these somewhere in this general area up here. And yes, that's the wide general area, but it's also a wide general move that we can have anywhere in that zone. And that's what I'm looking for. When we do this, we get a blue line. Now, until we get on top of that blue line, it's not very important. But all of these arrows would also be pointing back down to coming down to the blue line in the future. Obviously, we're not going to go back in time, but that time in the future where we may look like this motion, a motion that is not a familiar one to the public, only because I recognize what the market does do I even like consider this, but a movement like that, like where this gets attacked from above the blue line, right? And I believe that we have that set up here, and we're going to try and do that here. Now, so we're making this movement in which I've described on the left here, this movement. I don't know how I could describe it in more detail. It may happen quicker than what I've exactly put in here, but that's why I drew the circle, so we'd know that at some point in this general area we were going to go above the highs of where we've ever been in the consolidation and then pull back into that movement. I'm like, can we handle that? I'm like, that means you're going to get profit, and then it's going to pull some of the profit back. So far, the movement that I wanted to happen was that. The movement that actually happened was this. I think that happened